Hello friends, today we will look on paging, part of main memory management. Yeah, in the last class we have seen if a physical address space is broken into unequal sized partitions, how memory blocks can be assigned by using first fit, best fit and worst fit algorithms that we have seen. And now we'll look into paging, where physical address space of a process is non-contiguous. The process can be located with the physical memory wherever the letter is available. The main reason of this is it avoids external fragmentation, and it also avoids the problems of having variable sized memory chunks. So here in paging, the physical memory is divided into fixed sized blocks. We call them as frames. Usually a power of 2 sizes taken, which varies between 512 bytes and 16 megabytes also. So similarly, logical memory is also broken into a blocks of same sizes called as pages. You just make an observation. Physical memory is broken into a fixed size blocks called as frames, whereas logical memory is broken into a fixed size blocks called as pages. So both frames and pages will be having same sizes. So to run a program of size n pages, we need to find n free frames and load the program. For that we need to set up a page table also. But still it has a problem of having internal fragmentation that we look into details further. So this is address translation scheme. That is, the logical address generated by the CPU is divided into two parts, page number and the page offset, as you can see. So page number is used as an index into a page table, which contains the base address of each page actually in the physical memory, and this is combined with the base address, that is offset is combined with the base address defined in the physical memory, which is sent to the memory unit. So for a given logical address space 2 raised to m and page size 2 raised to n, we can break it into m minus n bits for the page number and n number of bits for the page offset. So here is an example. You can see the logical address generated by CPU is divided into page number and a displacement. So this page number is mapped to a page table wherein it is going to get a frame number which has to be mapped onto the physical memory. To this frame number, that D offset is added to get the effective address on the physical memory. So we'll have a example here. This is a list of free frames. You can observe having the pages 0, 1, 2, 3 is a requirement for a new process. We have a free frame lists here 14, 13, 18, 20 and 15. Before allocation, this is the status of the memory. After allocation, you can observe in page table the page 0 is allocated with 14th frame, first page is allocated with 13th frame, page number 2 is allocated with 18th frame, and the third page is allocated with the 20th frame. So accordingly it will fit into the main memory. As you can observe, 0th page is placed at 14th frame, first page is placed at 13th frame, and so on. Phasing model of logical and physical memory. So this is the pages, 4 pages required, broken into logical memory is broken into pages. This is a page table which is mapping the page numbers to appropriate frame numbers. So this is how that is allocated onto the physical memory, same as previous diagram. Yeah. So as I said, one of the difficulty within paging is it is having an internal fragmentation. External fragmentation is completely avoided. So if you consider a page of size 2048 bytes and the process size is 78766 bytes, we require how many pages? So how to calculate this is process size is this much, page size is this much. So if you divide 76766 by page size, you'll get 35 point something. So it requires 35 pages completely and 1086 bytes additionally. So in order to run this particular process of size 2766 bytes, totally we require 36 pages, in which 35 pages are completely occupied by the process, but the last page is occupying only 1086 bytes. So total page size is 2048. So there is a internal fragmentation of 962 bytes. So there is a small hole created in the last page that we call as a internal fragmentation. So for this example, the internal fragmentation is 962 bytes. In worst case, it may take only 1 byte from the last page. So it will be one frame, entire frame minus 1 byte. On and average, the fragmentation can be half of a frame size. So smaller the frame sizes are, whether small size frames are desirable to avoid the internal fragmentation. So if it is so, each page table entry takes more memory to track, isn't it? So if you have a large number of pages required for a one particular process, your page table will be larger, having large number of entries. Each page has to be mapped in turn into a frame. So let us see how page table is mapped. Page table is kept in main memory. It is making use of two registers. One is page table base register and page table length register. Base register points to the page table, and PTLR indicates the size of that particular whole page table. In this scheme, every data or instruction access requires two memory accesses. One for it's not directly accessing the main memory, rather it is accessing the page table, and then from the page table it is going into the actual physical memory. That's why whenever paging is used as a memory allocation method, then we require two memory accesses. In the two memory access problem can be solved by the use of a special fast lookup hardware cache called as associative memory, or TLBs, translook aside buffers. So what is this translook aside buffers? Are that is, some TLBs store the address space identifiers, that is called as assets here. In each TLB entry, unique identifiers it uniquely identifies each process to provide the address space protection for that particular process. So TLBs are typically of smaller size, varying between having the entries of 64 to 1024 entries. On a TLB mesh, value is loaded into the TLB for the faster access next time. So here miss means it is not present in the TLB, so that's why it is loaded into the TLB for the first access, and repeated access of the same page is available on the TLB. So for this we make use of replacement policies. These we are considering further in page replacement policies. So associative memory is this, page number and respective frame number is used. Again, address translation is done by P is an associative register and frame number is a displacement here. Paging hardware, the way we can use with the TLBs. So this TLB is storing the details of page number and frame number, and then it is going for this is obtained by the TLB mesh. If it is not present here, then only it is going for loading it into the, if TLB it's not present in the TLB, then the respective page number is searched in the page table. Otherwise it is obtained in the TLB itself. So here TLB is stored as an additional hardware, so avoiding the memory requirement for within the main memory itself. TLB is obtained, then frame is available, and displacement is added with that to get the effective physical address. So we'll see how to calculate the effective access time. Associative lookup is epsilon time minute. Hit ratio is alpha percentage. How many times it is hitting a page number which is present in the associative register. So let me explain you this with an example better. We'll consider a hit ratio alpha equal to 80%. That is 80% of the time the page is available in the TLB itself. Epsilon is 20 nanosecond, that is the amount of time required for TLB search. 100 nanosecond is for memory access. The way to calculate the effective access time is the percentage, that is 80% is the hit ratio, right? So 0.8 into how much time is required to access the memory, that is 100 nanoseconds, plus 0.2 into the remaining 100 minus 0.80 is 0.20 into 2 times the memory access. See, if it is not available in the TLB, then it has to be obtained from the main memory, to the TLB, and then it is obtained. So that's why it is requiring 2 times. So it is 0.2 into 200. So if you do this, you'll get it as 120 nanoseconds. We'll see one more example in the next video lecture. Thank you.